Welcome into the 15th Annual Team Women Leadership Conference. I'm Blythe Whaley, and I have the pleasure of standing next to Marilyn Carlson Nelson, the former chair and CEO of the Carlson Companies. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Blythe. I'm thrilled to be here.
And you have been named by Forbes one of the top 100 most powerful women. I want to start things off with a bang, Marilyn. I want to talk about what that meant to you to be able to have that tokened on your name, but also what does it mean to you to be a powerful woman? How would you define that?
I think it means that if indeed there is power, that it's your responsibility to use it for good. I think business should be a power for good, and each of us as individuals should do whatever we can to live our values and draw the circle bigger so that more and more people today are included in our society and have a sense of belonging, both men and women, boys and girls.
And I think you don't always get to hear that with business. It's competitive and people don't always have that same mindset. What instilled that in you from the beginning?
I think perhaps my family. I think I grew up attending church and Sunday school, but I don't know why one person takes that so to heart. I do believe that loving our neighbor is something that has to pervade our thinking. I'm worried because I feel like we're moving a little bit backward in that area, and it's our survival. Individually, I think it's people are having mental health issues because they're isolated. My philosophy is an Edwin Markham poem, and it goes like this. He drew a circle and left me out, but love and I had the wit to win. We drew a bigger circle and drew him in.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, because it opens our eyes just on the type of leader that you are and that you've been, because not everyone thinks like that. What is something that you want to instill in maybe the younger generation? I know you just shared that right now, which I'm sure they're going to be able to take with them, but is there something that you want someone of the younger generation to take away from today?
It's been so impressive. I think Team Women is a marvelous organization. I love the fact they do mentoring. They're working with young people to talk about leadership and leadership skills, which means really to make friends. It's almost like that old Girl Scout thing. Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold, but it's fact. You succeed in business and in life if you have relationships, if you care about people, are interested in people. I think that's a good first step. I think a second step is to take yourself in a way, to take yourself seriously, but not too seriously.
There's a line,
yeah. Exactly. Study seriously. You want to constantly learn, be curious, because there's so much change in the world. You need to be flexible, but you need to be open to learn, and so that you can learn new skills and not be afraid of change.
When you looked out at the audience in there when you were speaking today, what's maybe different about the Team Women audience compared to others that you've talked to in the past?
Well, there's an energy. The preponderance of the audience are in the are younger women who are just excited and optimistic and passionate about their careers and want to learn. What could be better than to speak with people who are hanging on every word, hoping that you can impart something that will make their life better or their career, help them in their career.
I also want to talk about your career and maybe what you're most proud of that you've been able to accomplish, or what you're most proud of that you had to overcome.
I think I'm proud of the fact that I started in business in the 60s when there were no women really in business except as in clerical roles or nurses and teachers, and that I, along with friends and civil society, that I've worked through the years to really be enough of a role model and to do to demonstrate what women could do, so that over time, working together with both civil society and on boards, that we could move women forward and break the glass ceiling. And I really do believe we have.
And certainly you are one of the women that everyone just listens to every word that comes out of your mouth, trying to absorb it. I certainly am. But Marilyn, when you decided to write your book, I know that maybe some of the process you thought about prior, but was there a defining moment when you really decided you needed to create this?
I wrote my book because I wanted my children and grandchildren to know a little bit about why I wanted them to lead the way I wanted them to lead. And I wanted it to be stories that were accessible, so that you could just read one or two and then think about it. And it combined my love of poetry too, because I had little bits and pieces of poetry to make the point. So I guess I used to tell some of the stories to my executives, and they started saying, write it down. And so I did.
Well, we're so glad that you did, and we're so glad that you graced the Team Women Leadership Conference with your presence, because you certainly have so much wisdom to share, and we're glad that you shared it with us today.
Thank you. I just hope everyone remembers that how we lead does matter. Thank you.
We certainly do, and make sure you're checking out her book if you haven't already, because it certainly has even more words of encouragement and wisdom that everyone needs to see. But we'll be back here on the Team Women Leadership Conference red carpet. More wonderful interviews like Marilyn coming up next.
Thank you.
Thank you.